Okay, so let's go back to our stock folder and open that road sign. Let's open the PSD file. Okay, and I used this one in the middle. You can use any of them. You can also use this one, the empty one, and then just add something there, add another symbol there or whatever you want. So let's press Alt and the I icon to hide the other ones, and I'll select both signs here. I'll select both layers and move them to my canvas here. Okay, and I will close this image because I no longer need it, and I'll close this one as well. Don't save. So I have both signs here. It doesn't matter if you have them below the model or on top. Let's leave them on top, and I'll convert both of them into smart objects because I don't know how small or how big I want them to be. The reason why I convert this into smart objects is because this is the original size. Okay, so if I want to make it smaller without converting this into a smart object, let's say by mistake I made it this small, and then I realized I want to make it bigger, and I cannot undo because you only have so many history levels. So if you want to make it bigger, you will lose quality, but if you have it as a smart object, you can see that it preserves the scale, so I can go back to 100% without losing any quality at all. That's why I use smart objects. Okay, and also because filters can be applied and they become smart filters, so you don't affect the original image. So that's the reason why I use smart object, and I suggest you do the same when you're not, especially when you're not sure about the size of an object. Let's leave it at 40. And we'll see. And for the bottom sign, I actually need the other one, the empty one, because I want to add my own text. So I'll open that other image again, and I'll copy this one. One cool trick that I mentioned on another tutorial, for example, if you have multiple layers here, and I only want to select this one, but I don't know which one it is. Of course, I could take a look at here, but it's a lot quicker if you select the Move tool and press and hold the Control or Command key, and if you click on that object, you can see you automatically select its layer. So you select the corresponding layer on the layers palette, which is really cool. See that? It automatically selects the layer for me. I can drag it to my canvas here and drop it there and close this image. So now I have this empty bottom sign. Let's convert this into a smart object as well. And scale it to about 50%, just like the other one. It's a bit too tall for my taste, so what I'll do is make it even smaller to about 40. And actually the smart object is not going to do much for me because I will rasterize the layer now. And the reason why I rasterize it is because I have to cut this and make it wider, and I'll show you how. So the first thing I want to do is, let's work on this bottom sign now. I'll select the left edge, the left part, and right click on it and choose layer via cut. Okay, so now I have it on a separate layer, and let's call this left. Right, and let's move it a bit towards the left so you can see it. Choose bottom sign again and do the same with the right part. Select the right part, right click on it and choose via layer cut, and now we have the right part on its own layer. Let's move it on the right. Okay, so now I can make this as wide as I want. Let's move this there, and I want to have it a bit something about this wide. And I have the bottom sign right here, which is this. So what I will do is select the bottom sign layer and press Ctrl or Command J to duplicate it. And now I'll press Ctrl or Command T to load the free transform for it, and I'll flip it horizontally. Well, actually, I will not flip it, I just want to show you. If you move it on the left, you can see that if you zoom at 100%, it most likely, you probably won't see this line, but if you zoom in, you will see this connection line. So what you can do is press Ctrl Command T and flip it horizontally, because that way this part and this part is the same. So in terms of contrast, they match perfectly, but the texture, you can see that pattern there, but you can move it a few pixels on top of the other image, and now you can see that it's not going to be visible. And now press Ctrl Command E to merge both images, and now I can move this one here, but you can see it's not matching, because now this end should match with this one. So let's see if that works. Flip this horizontally and move it here, and here you can see it matches perfectly. So what I will do is move this out of the way and select both layers, put them there, and now select the bottom sign, which is now a copy because I merged those two layers, and I'll duplicate that again, flip it horizontally and put it here. And now these edges match perfectly, these two edges here, okay? So now it's too wide, it's way too wide, I don't need it that wide, but what I'll do is press Ctrl Command E, and let's see what we can do. I could crop this part, let's make it easier. Let's place this part there and crop the part that we need, and we'll deal with the connection with this one. We'll see what we do. Let's place it here, flip it horizontally, and it's not matching too nice, but we can use the dodge tool right here just to brighten up the area there, and pressing the Alt key I can burn that part a bit there, and at 100% is not the difference is not noticeable, okay? So that's how I created that wider sign there. I can see that. No, okay, now I'll select all of them, press Ctrl Command E to merge them, and this is the bottom sign. Okay, so we have the bottom sign on a single layer. You can use smart objects, but it's not necessary. You can just merge them, and that's it. So that's my sign there. I will convert it into a smart object though, the entire object, because I think I have to make it a bit smaller. I'm not sure. We'll see. And move both of them a bit higher. But what we need to do now is make that pole there that supports this signs. And you can use a real one if you want, but you can make it manually. It's not too difficult. All you need to do is select the rectangular marquee tool. Make a selection like this. Don't make it too wide though. You can make it as tall as you want because you can mask it. It's better to make it taller than smaller. So make a selection like that and fill it with any color you want. It's not really important the color that you use, and now just place it there and put it on the right position. And what you need to do now is add a texture on top of that. So let's open a texture image. I don't know if I have it on my stock folder. I have no texture here. Let's open one from the internet. Let's go to DeviantArt and choose rust texture or metal texture. And let's select a texture that looks nice. This one looks nice to me. You can also use this one. I'll give you links to this, all these textures, so don't worry. Let's see how big it is. 2000 pixels, that's okay. Let's right click and choose copy image. I'll add it to my favorites so that way I can give you the link to it. And go back to Photoshop. Let's cancel this and paste the texture here with Ctrl V. So you can copy images right from the internet, but I don't recommend you do that because that way you don't remember where you got them from. So it's better to download them on your computer, and that way on the image file you usually get the name of the author, so you can trace it back to when you save images, also make sure you know where you got the images from so you can credit the authors. Okay, so now I have the image here. I clipped it, let's call this metal, and I clipped it to this layer, which I will call pole. And now this texture is only visible over the pole. I don't know why I cannot move it. Let's save and see what happened. Okay, I don't know, something happened with the Photoshop, it didn't respond. And what I will do now is make this smaller, and I'll probably rotate it. And make it a bit bigger, like so. This texture is a bit too big for this image, so what I'll probably do is make it way smaller, like so, pressing the shift key so you constrain the proportions, and then just duplicate it a few times and clip it, flip it horizontally, vertically, sorry, so the textures match, like that. And I'll merge them, and now I'll probably make it a bit bigger just to cover that, the entire boulder. Now it looks a bit better. Okay, so now this looks really flat, so what we need to do is add styles to it. So I'll open the layer styles for the pole layer, double clicking on it, and what I'll do is, let's try a gradient overlay, or let's try the bevel and emboss first, and then we will use a gradient overlay if we need to, and increase the depth and the size as well, and we'll make it softer. The size is too big. Okay, something like that. I want the light to come from the right side, so you can see that gives it a bit of shape. It adds shadow here. Maybe decrease a bit the depth and increase the opacity for the shadow mode. And for the highlight mode, let's try the soft light blend mode. I think it would look better. Yeah, I like it better. Okay, and let's try playing with the angle here, see what we get. Well, I like this one. And I'll also add a gradient overlay using the reflected style at 0 degrees, and I want to reverse it because I want the light part, the brighter part, to be on the inside. I'll move it slightly to the right, maybe increase a bit the scale, and let's try the overlay blend mode and reduce the opacity, or let's try the multiply. Yeah, it looks nice, but I don't know, let's try another color burn. It looks better, color burn. Okay, and if you want to give it a color, let's try color overlay and choose soft light, and just choose a really unsaturated brown color, like that. The bevel and emboss is too strong. Let's try the shadow mode to soft light. Yeah, it looks better to me. And maybe increase a bit, or move this a bit to the left. Now it's too strong. And let's leave it on multiply, or maybe overlay. It's just a matter of playing with the blend modes here. And I will use the black to transparent and use the overlay at a higher opacity. Okay. And since the pole is too dark, I'll use a brighter tone for the color overlay. Okay, that makes it a bit brighter. So just adding a few styles to give it a more of a 3D shape. And I'll select both layers and move this higher. Oops. for the 4 layers actually, and move it a bit higher up here. Something like that. It's a bit too tall compared to this fence here, so I'll probably move the fence up a bit as well. And now move this up a bit as well. Like so. And I'll use the layer mask for the pole. So I'll create a layer mask for it. Zoom in. And let's select the brush tool. And let's try the same mask, see how it works. Not looking bad. See that? Now I masked it using this grass brush. Remember to deactivate color dynamics, because otherwise you'll have things like that, which is not nice. Oops. Okay. We still need to add shadows. You'll see that shadows make things a lot more realistic, and we have to make it all more uniform in terms of saturation and hue. We need to have the same color tone for the entire image, but we still need to add a bit more elements here. And the next element that I will add is that bird here, this one. So let's open it. And again, we can use, since the background is out of focus, we can use, in this case, the quick selection tool, sorry. Make a rough selection, but we need a bigger brush. Okay, we'll make a rough selection like that. This is a really big image, and we will make it a lot smaller. That's why I'm using the quick selection tool. Otherwise, I would use the pen tool. But we're going to reduce the size of this quite a lot, and the edges, even though they're not perfect, they're not gonna be visible. I'm gonna exclude this area from my selection. Okay, and exclude that part as well. Anyways, we'll use the brush tool and get those areas to look nice. Okay, so now let's create a layer mask for it to hide that part. Okay, so what I will do now, I will not keep the layer mask. What I will do is press Ctrl Command A and go to Edit, Copy Merged. Go to my document and paste it above my sign, so you can see it's quite big. And before I scale it down, let's name this bird. Before I scale it down, I will use the refine edge. So I'll press and hold the Control key or Command on a Mac and click on the thumbnail of the bird layer and select the selection tool, the rectangular marquee tool, and choose refine edge. Click on this new button here. And I'll shift the edge just a bit, and just a quick fix to get rid of that halo around the edge, and increase the feather to about 1.3, maybe even more, and increase the contrast just a bit, and smoothness to make the area a bit smoother. It looks like we need a bit more feather, a bit more contrast. Okay, so we got it. So I'll choose layer mask for the output because it has no layer mask, and I don't want to get rid of the edge, I just want to mask it. Okay, so now I can press Ctrl Command T below the free transform, lock the proportions and scale it down to about, let's see, 10%. Even smaller, but I'll leave it at 10% now, and move here, and now press Ctrl Command T again and just make it smaller, about that small. Okay, so you can see that now the edges are not really that visible. Just place it there. Let's take a look at it at 100%, and some of the edges are still visible. So what I'll do is right click on the layer mask, apply it, and then load that selection again and use the refine edge again, just to get rid of about 1 pixel of edge there. Contrast, more contrast, and I'll choose layer mask again because I want to reveal the bottom part here, because I don't need the mask there. I want to keep that part. I only wanted that for the edge there. See that edge? I wanted to remove it. Okay, so now we have the bird there. Of course, we need to make the shadows. Don't forget about the shadows, but we'll get to those in a moment. Let's add our axe there. I don't know why I added this, honestly, but I don't know. Again, I extracted using the pen tool. This is the extracted version of it. I think, well, it was not on a white background, but it's really easy to extract with any tool actually. But I did it with the pen tool. And let's add it here. Let's name the layer X, and we have to make it smaller. I will not make it a smart object. I just compared it with the man's leg here. I wanted to have it about this big. A neck, it's more or less about that big, I guess. Placed it there, and I don't know if I have it flipped. Let's see. Yeah, if I have it flipped to that part. So let's flip horizontally, and we need to make quite a few adjustments to this to match, but we will do that. And we still need those suitcases there. So I got them from DeviantArt. I forgot to add them on the stock folder, so let's search for them, because I'm sure we will find them. Yep, these ones. These are the suitcases that I used. I'll give you the link to this image. If it's no longer available, just search for something else. It's not a big deal. I'll give you the link to this same image. You can see the rules here. So you can see the author's page. Okay, so you can see they have a lot of stock images. Just have to go to their gallery, make sure you read their rules. Most of them have rules. Just give credit. It's not really difficult. Just add a link to their account, because you can see really nice stock images that you can use for your manipulations, and they're free. So what else you can ask for? So let's go back to our image here. Let's copy it. Go back to Photoshop and let's paste it right here, but we will need to extract this from the background. So let's get the pen tool, and you'll see how I use the pen tool, because now I have to extract it. I have no other choice. So this is what I do. Just start making a path around, like so. I'll speed up the video here a bit, because I don't wanna keep you watching every point that I add here. So see you when I'm done. So now I created that path. I'll right click and choose make selection and click OK, and you can see the selection was created. And now I can create the layer mask for it to hide it, and I'll have the path right here, the work path. You can, if you want to use this same image on future projects, you can take advantage that you have this path, and you can save the image with this path, embed it on it, and that way you don't have to make the selection the next time you open the image. And I actually have a tutorial about that, so you can see how to save time when working with this path, because sometimes it takes a lot of time to make a path, like a good path. So why not take advantage of that and use it on another project? So you can embed this actually on JPEG file. So it's a really cool trick. You should watch that tutorial if you're interested in saving time. Okay, so my layer mask is ready. I'll make this image smaller, so select this layer, which I will name suitcases, but in lowercase. Suitcases in lowercase. Okay. Now press Ctrl-Command-T. We can see that we'll have a problem. We still have some background there, I guess. Well, no. I'll apply the layer mask because I'm happy with the selection, so I'll apply the layer mask. If you leave layer masks, you will see that the size of the document is 200 megabytes right now. And if I apply the layer mask, you will see that the document size will decrease. You can see how it's now 192. So keep in mind, if you want to have small file sizes, apply layer masks, but that means you sacrifice non-destructive editing. So it depends on what you want. For objects like this, if I'm happy with the selections and everything, I usually apply the layer masks. And what I want to do now is flip it. Let's flip it horizontally. Okay, and press enter, and I need to move it lower on the layers palette below my model here. Okay, and I need to make them smaller again. I'll create the smart object because I don't know how small I want them to be. I don't want to make them too small. I think on the original the boy was standing a bit more towards the right side. Let's take a look. Well, a bit, not too much. But anyways, let's leave it there. Don't save. I just closed that image of the bird, and I want to make this a bit bigger and place them here. Okay, so now we have the suitcases, we have everything ready. All we need to do now is make adjustments, add shadows, and change this heart with the clock.